Hello everyone, back to today's second video. So we're going to do the 40-day look ahead for Beijing Climate Centre. Today's second video is going to take us, it will take us just at the start of December actually, can you believe? So we'll go into just about the first couple of days of December with this update. I'll go with it in a second. Putting it on back, just very quick to say about the 5-day forecast. So we've already done that, and you can find the video tab on the homepage. Just scroll down the page a bit, and the video is underneath the linked ads. And there's also a written version. You get to that bar buttons at the top of the page. It's going to be very quiet 5 days coming up. It's going to be quite warm at times as well, but we'll have to think a bit about an increasing risk of mist and fog, I think, as we get through, particularly towards the weekend. If you want to know more about the 5-day forecast, check it out if you'd like to do that. I'll go with a 40-day look ahead with the Beijing Climate Centre in a second. Before we get on with that, just very quickly to say about the ads. Just links to articles on all the pages, have a browse widgets, and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. You can help us to pay for our website. Thanks so much for doing that. So start with 500 millibar height anomalies, break it down into 10-day periods, and then we'll have a look at the corresponding temperature and precipitation anomalies. Remember, with these charts, red and orange, the brighter colours are extrapolating to high pressure, and blue extrapolates to low pressure. So the coming 10 days takes us from today, 26th, through to the 4th of November. We find above average heights sitting to the north and to the northeast, below average heights down to the south and southwest. I think that keeps things very, very quiet. I'm not sure it's got the exact position of that ridge quite right. So as we get through to next week, I would have thought that ridge is likely more towards the west of us. But it does imply loads of dry and settled weather coming up as we go through at the end of October and into the start of November. Now, a bit of a change as we get through into the next 10-day period. It's going from the 5th, bonfire night, through to 14th of November. And what we find for this one is that the ridge is more centred towards Greenland. So a bit of retrogression perhaps taking place there, with a trough underneath it. That could turn things more unsettled. And I would have thought it's also quite cold as well, with the risk of the flow being more from a northeasterly type direction. Now, when I show you the temperature anomalies, that's going to show warmer than average because the model, it has a bias towards warmer than average temperature anomalies, but it doesn't make sense in terms of its 500 millibar height anomaly in terms of its setup. So I think that would be quite a coolish sort of 10-day period going through to the middle part of November, maybe even a bit on the colder side. The next 10-day period, going from the 15th through 24th of November, places a trough out to the west. Still lots of orange up here around Greenland. But also, if we come over here, heights are rising to the east. I think with that one, the flow is probably going more towards the south. And again, a lot of dry weather, I would have thought, with that. Fairly settled conditions, but probably on the milder side. And then we finish up with the next 10-day period, which takes us from the 25th of November through to the 4th of December, so we just start winter with this. Again, notice all this orange we've got going on up here around Greenland, so still hints of northern blocking, trough of low pressure in the Atlantic, and we have got reaching over towards Scandinavia, down into Eastern Europe. A little bit uncertain what that would do. It could, if this trough was to travel underneath the block, it could give us quite a cold 10 days to end November. So maybe average temperatures, most unsettled conditions out to the west. So rattle through the temperature anomalies, they're going to be warmer than average throughout the coming 10 days, seem to be warmer than average. The next 10 days, although it is a bit cooler, from the 5th through to 14th, still comes out milder than average. I think that would be a colder than average 10-day period based on what the model is predicting. However, the next 10 days, that one comes out warmer than average, and the final 10 days, you've guessed it, that one also comes out warmer than average. Ignore those to some degree. Yes, there will be some mild and average conditions, especially in the next few days, but particularly that period going through up to the middle part of November, I think that would be colder than average if the model comes out as it's predicting. Precipitation looks dry on average for the coming 10 days, so the dry autumn continues. Then it goes more unsettled from the 5th to the 14th, so that's a colder and more unsettled period coming up there. And then the next 10 days is near normal to a little bit wetter than average. not a big deviation. And then it looks like it's turning wetter again, actually, as we go through to the very end of November and the start of December. This is the 25th November through to the 4th of December. Goes significantly wetter than average. I think that could also be quite a cool period there. So a bit up and down, I think, with potential, though they actually are seen to be warm and average throughout. I think we start off the first 10 days quite warm, and then or quite mild, and then the second 10 days, I would have thought that's colder than average. Then it probably goes milder again in the second half of November, before the very end of November and the start of December probably goes cold once more. And precipitation, generally quite a bit of dry weather, but there will be some wetter spells coming through, particularly associated with the colder periods as well. So there is, with those colder periods, maybe a little bit of wintry potential at work here. So a bit of a mixed bag, but overall I think there is some colder weather to be looking at least a risk of it within the next 40 days. Right, that's all now. Check out 5 Day Forecast if you'd like to do that. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.